What is going on with all of my living, breathing, walking, amazing people of the planet and or the non? I am D Venom. You are all tuned into Raising Vibrations Podcast. I hope all of my people of the planet, especially my people of addiction, relapse, and or functioning addicts, are staying on that straight and narrow and doing everything possible to elude psychic vampires, negative energies, including podbean trolls and scallywags from one's lives. We all should know by now that those particular elements only take away from our energies and our vibrations. If we could elude them at all costs, we have done our own selves some justice and a huge favor. And with that being said, let's get into tonight's episode, starting right now. All right, you guys, as mentioned, I am D Venom. I'm solo. The feathered friends are across the street at the Mikasa. I am at the park/courthouse, more on the courthouse side in the parking lot, recording this episode for you guys. It is a lovely night in Arizona, to say the least. The weather is fair. No need for a jacket, sweater, coat. Matter of fact, no need for any damn clothes at all. That's how good it feels out here. Clear skies from what I can see. Just a beautiful, beautiful night overall. I hope that you guys are taking advantage of this night just as well as I am. Stay out of trouble. And with that being said, moving on. It has been a moment since I uploaded any episodes for you guys, and for very good reason. I will get in 1:55 time of the recording. I'll get into that here momentarily. But anyway, I am proud to say that I have completed those series of injections in regard to curing this damn syphilis. I have some paperwork right here from the Maricopa County Health Department. No, the Maricopa County Public Health Department. And I went there on, let me see. It was the February 3rd of 2025. I'm going to say about a couple of days prior to me going to the Maricopa County Public Health Department. I went to go see my primary doctor. And that's when I had blood work done, and it indicated that I had the syphilis pretty much floating through my system. From there, I was pretty much ordered to go to the Maricopa County Public Health Department to seek further assistance. There, I was offered to either get the injections, penicillin. I think it was either 2 shots, or I could have took some pills, which were doxycycline, if I'm not mistaken. And I opted to take the doxycycline, considering my experience in Las Vegas when I caught syphilis. They had me on my side. They gave me a shot of penicillin. It was painful, painful enough to bring me to tears. I didn't want anything else to do with any needles, again, in regard to that situation. So I didn't want to deal with getting poked with penicillin, so I opted in for the pills, which didn't work, and I had to take the pills for 3 weeks. Morning, it's 3:55 time of the recording, morning and at night. And as I mentioned, the pills did not work. They weren't effective towards the syphilis, and that's when I went back to my primary doctor's office. And, it was pretty much indicated to them through the Maricopa Public Health Department that the pills weren't effective. And, from there, I had no choice but to go through those series of injections that were pretty much given to me at my primary doctor's office. Anyway, just know that I made it through all 6 injections. I completed the last 2 sometime last week. I believe it was on a Monday. And, from there, I give blood work, which I haven't done yet. I still have yet to do this, but I have to give my blood work. And this will indicate whether my titer count is still elevated or not. If my titer count is still elevated, that means the syphilis still remains, and I'm more than likely I'm going to have to continue on taking series of penicillin injections. If the injections did their job, that means my titer count is low and the injections worked, and I'm, syphilis free, and I have nothing to worry about unless I contract the shit again, which I don't plan on doing anytime soon. Anytime soon. I don't plan on doing it at all. Anyway, 5:44 time of the recording. Just know that I completed all 6 injections, and now we're pretty much counting on the blood work when I do get that drawn, and to go from there. So let's pray that everything comes back fine, and there's no syphilis in my system, and those injections did their job. And I can move on without having to worry about these damn shots and penicillin and primary doctors and buttocks and all that type of shit. Anyway, you guys, relapse is another story. I will say that I believe it was that Monday or that Tuesday, whenever I went to go see my primary doctor to get those injections, those final injections, I relapsed. I had my stuff on me, and after I completed those injections with my primary doctor, I remember going to the parking lot, getting in my car, and pulling out the pipe and everything and smoking in the parking lot. And that's when relapse pretty much began. I believe I relapsed that Tuesday, that Wednesday. Along the way, I picked up a few scallywags on different days. I remember, it was well into the weekday. Businesses are operable, and myself and the scallywag or scallywags on different occasions were riding around trying to find places to smoke and, and fuck around. And, thank God we got away with it without getting caught up. But, I relapsed well into that, Friday, if I'm not mistaken. And along the way, my pipe ended up breaking, like the bubble part. Well, it didn't break in its entirety, right then and there, but it was cracked. So when I was with one of the scallywags, that's when it eventually, broke in its entirety. And I didn't bother about going to get another one, because had I went to go get another pipe, that would have just continued the cycle. I had 3 of them motherfuckers. One I gave away. The other one had broke. And I think I ended up getting rid of that one. And I was down to that last one. And it broke for a reason. And I didn't bother to go get another one like I told you guys. Anyway, I kept the stem because it had residue in it. And I remember, I think I smoked that Friday using the stem. And I got disgusted. I felt like a damn crackhead. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, this is not me. This is just not me. So I took the stem and I just threw it in the garbage bag, and I later dumped that garbage bag, and I just wanted it out of the apartment, so I got rid of it. And anyway, I had a little bit of methamphetamine left, and I didn't bother about touching it or nothing like that, and I went a couple of days clean, and then that Tuesday I ended up relapsing. I was mainly just lackadaisical all that week, and I was sleeping and just tired. And, I was sick and tired of being tired. And I felt like that little bit of methamphetamine that I had left would give me some energy to get up and get some things accomplished. And, I didn't have a pipe anymore. As I told you guys, it broke. So I had some aluminum foil and I had a straw. And I took a lighter and I lit the aluminum foil from underneath and got the methamphetamine, more like fentanyl, but I got the methamphetamine hot and it, produced the smoke. And I remember taking the straw and I remember, inhaling the smoke with the straw and just getting this nasty ass taste in my mouth that I just couldn't get rid of with juice, water, or anything. It was just so disgusting. And I said, no, I can't do this. And I ended up getting rid of that aluminum foil, the straw, and all of that. And pretty much I've been clean since. So Tuesday of this week is when I, used the aluminum foil and the little bit of methamphetamine that I had. And, I ended up getting rid of it because of the taste and whatever the case may be. And, from there, I pretty much been about 2 days clean. When I realized using the stem, I was walking through my apartment, feeling that paranoid feeling. And I went into the bathroom and I was, trying to smoke in there, and trying to light the lighter without it, clicking and all of this bullshit. Just going through that feeling that you feel when you're pretty much fucked up on methamphetamine. And I'm looking in the mirror and I'm just like, this is so crackheadish that it makes no motherfucking sense. And I'm just looking at myself. And that's when I got rid of the stem. And, like I told you guys, this particular Tuesday, I ended up relapsing using the aluminum foil to smoke the rest of the methamphetamine. But anyway, I haven't touched it since. And thank God I haven't. The blessing in all of this is my prescriber or my psychiatrist prescribed me this particular medication. I put it away, but I believe it's called Naltrexone, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna try to spell it Naltra. Let me get the medication because I don't want to lie. Hold on one second. I foreshadowed this medication while I was on Saint LMC's show live, and Saint was looking into it, and basically, from what I read too, is more geared towards individuals that are dealing with opioid abuse, and I think it's to block the cravings and the withdrawals of opioid abuse, but it's also sufficient for people who deal with methamphetamine cravings. And I guess it's been prone to help individuals in that department as well. And so I told my prescriber about how they had me on Wellbutrin years ago, and Wellbutrin worked until it didn't work anymore. So they felt like this particular medication would be a lot more beneficial than the Wellbutrin. And I can't say how effective it is, considering I just started the medication as of last Saturday. You remember, I had relapse, that Monday all the way up until I believe that Friday. And I couldn't wait to pick the medication up that Saturday. And as soon as I got it, I popped the pill. And from there, I pretty much, slept that Saturday away. I slept that Sunday away. I slept that Monday away practically. And that Tuesday, I, was tired of, sleeping and lying on the futon. That's when I took the remaining bit of methamphetamine that I had and smoked it with the aluminum foil to give myself some energy. And anyway, let me find this medication real quick. One second, you guys. But like I told you all, I have a feeling it's going to be very effective in regard to blocking the cravings against methamphetamine. And if it's as effective for me, I am pretty sure it will be just as effective for some of you guys out there that are dealing with 1422 time of the recording, that are dealing with your own battle with methamphetamine abuse. Anyway, the name of the medication is Naltrexone, if I'm not mistaken. Naltrexone. And my prescriber has me starting at 50 milligram, and I am to take it every single day until otherwise. And, this is a preventative measure in regard to, stopping the cravings of methamphetamine. And I know that popping the pill alone isn't going to be effective. I know that there's going to have to be even more counseling and therapy along the way. And, my therapist offered me group therapy, and I turned it down being anal. I want all the attention to myself. I don't want to hear about other people's stories and their walk with whatever addiction that they're going through. I want it to be about me. But then I thought about it, and speaking with a good friend of mine, they were like, maybe I shouldn't have that approach. Maybe I should just go ahead and do the group therapy. And, because group therapy is still one-on-one therapy to a degree. I'm still going there for the individual help that I need. Plus, how can I say it? Being there for other people while they're being there for me. Either way it goes, I don't need to be prejudiced against these particular suggestions and approaches that my psychiatrist and or my therapist has for me in order to elude me from relapsing and using methamphetamine. I need every preventative measure that I can possibly get before I relapse. So anyway, the next 1622 time of the recording, the next time that I talk to my psychiatrist and my therapist, I'm going to let my therapist know that let's go for it. Let's do the groups and let's do the one-on-one counseling, and let's get it started. Because the more help that I get, including the medication that I'm on, the more beneficial that it will be in regard to my walk with sobriety. 1655 time of the recording. So, I think I see. I do see them, virtual, appointment that is, but I do see my, my therapist, I think on the 29th of this month. And, we're going to talk about, group therapy and one-on-one therapy. And, I should be participating in my first, group sometime soon, you guys. And 1722, time of the recording, and I will keep you guys updated and go from there. But I feel good, even though I'm 2 days clean and I haven't done any methamphetamine. I was offered and I didn't reply back to the text message. I'm doing good for myself. I was thinking about, 1744 time of the recording. I was thinking about myself and, my peer support certificate. And Source is not going to put me fully in my walk with my spiritual path and the job that I'm supposed to be working until I have completely worked on myself. Group therapy and individual therapy is something that I have to go through in order to be a peer support specialist. I have to have so many a month or days or something of therapy and whatever else the case may be. So I have to go through all of this. And what I was telling you guys earlier about me being tired and fatigued and my crown chakra, unbalanced and just my chakras in general are just unbalanced, and the energies that I've been, living around, just depleting me of energies. A lot of what I am going through, I can't speak for everybody else. 1844 time of the recording, but a lot of what I am going through is on a spiritual level. We always think that our headaches are coming from this realm, or, our fatigue is coming from this realm, or, just what we are going through, in a medical sense is all related to this realm. And it's not. If we are chosen, this means that we are going through double the experiences than, the people that aren't chosen. And I think, 1919 time of the recording, I thank, YouTube for having videos in regard to chosen ones out there, because had they not had this type of information out there, a lot of us would not know who we are and why we're experiencing what we're experiencing. And it all came to light for me listening to a video today in regard to being fatigued and, just tired and whatever else the case may be. And a lot of what I'm going through on the spiritual level is preparing me for the next phase regarding my spirituality. And it all makes sense to me now, because we can't go into battle being tired and being restless and, being hungry and whatever the case may be. There are moments in life where we have to seclude ourselves and allow solitude to, guide us and fill us with information and rejuvenate us and whatever the case may be. So I've been spending a lot of time in solitude, just quietness. And, maybe I'll watch a movie here and there. Maybe I'll read on Kindle or something like that. But I've just been spending a lot of time just rejuvenating my mind, body, and spirit, because it has been so off balance lately. I feel a lot more refreshed now that I have given my time. Now that I have given myself this time, I'm not working. And even though I'm looking for work here and there, why not take this time to get proper rest, rejuvenate myself, work on my chakras and, work on me as a whole. I have to get me right before I can dive into utilizing this peer support specialist certificate. So all of what I am going through is preparing me for the better, and I can't wait for the better to happen. But I must go through, these series of counseling, these group sessions, even though I don't want to feel like I'm a part of a fucking cult. Even though I don't want to feel like I'm a part of a fucking cult with this damn, 12 step, and all of this type of stuff. Even though I don't have to be a part of the 12 step, I'm not going to be anal against, these blessings, because these particular organizations and whatever the case may be that are being introduced to me. Well, not introduced, because I've been a part of, 12 steps and stuff like that, years ago, 22 time of the recording. And I just didn't feel like it was beneficial for me, but I didn't give it a chance either. Now I'm willing to give it more of a chance. 22:33 time of the recording. I think that it will be a lot more beneficial for me now that I'm really truly wanting my walk with sobriety. So anyway, I'm 22:55. I'm still, battling addiction to a degree, you guys, but I have some preventative measures in the way, and I feel like these preventative measures are going to be very beneficial for myself moving forward. So, again, I apologize if I've been on anyone's platform and I just haven't been there mentally. I felt like the last time I was on St. LMC's platform, I just wasn't there, even though I was trying to be there and I was trying to, not sound idiomatic and whatever else the case may be. But you know what? Sometimes in life, it's okay not to be okay. And there's just been periods where I just have not been okay. And that is fine. I'm getting myself to the point where I will be okay. And, that's all that really matters. So again, I apologize if I've been on anyone's platform, more or less my own platform. And, I just been all over the place. I also started taking my bipolar and ADHD medication. I've been on that now for about a good week or so. And, I can feel some improvements in regard to that. But it's going to take a little bit of time, my speech and, trying to get my diction right and whatever else the case may be. I'm pretty sure all is ADHD related. A lot of me being tired, has to do with, the relapses. I've been going on pure energy, whatever else the case may be. So I'm glad that I'm getting this rest and this rejuvenation. And I'm glad that I'm secluding myself so that I can further work on myself and getting me right. But anyway, 24 4:44 time of the recording. Anyway, I'm not going to hold you guys for too long. I just wanted to update you all in regard to, what has been going on. So just know that I completed those series of injections. Now we're counting on the blood work in order to see if the titer count is still elevated. Once we figure this out, I can move on. From there, we have the Naltrexone, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, as a preventative measure in regard to myself and the cravings against methamphetamine. And we will include therapy and further counseling along with the medication as more preventative measures. So, we have a plan, you guys. It's just a matter of me sticking with that plan and going from there. But until then, you guys be good, especially my people of addiction, relapse, and or functioning addicts. We got this. As long as we keep continue on with the fight. Anyway, I am D Venom, and just know that I'm 2 days clean and counting. And thanks to this medication, I will be, sorry, you guys, I had to hit a bug, but, thanks to this medication, I will be, months and months clean, moving forward. All right, you guys, I will probably use this particular medication in the form of a hidden gem as well. I'm going to give it, probably another week or so to see how it affects me and go from there. Also, I'm going to upload some conversations that I had with some delightful individuals that I have not uploaded yet due to the fact that, I just wanted to disassociate myself with social media and, the podcast and all of that to pretty much focus on myself. I can't focus on myself and, always be on Podbean or, on my other social media platforms. I had to, and even though it was a huge sacrifice, I had to sacrifice my platforms for, sanity, other than that shit, I'd be going motherfucking crazy, with this methamphetamine relapse and whatever else the case may be. So I needed that solitude and that time to myself in order to, get some things right. But anyway, I will check with you guys some other time and let you all know how I'm doing with the medication and how I'm doing in general. And with that being said, stay strong, my people of addiction. You guys got this. I am D Venom, 27:37 time of the recording. And I'm out. All right. Bye-bye.